This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. 2 men charged over fatal Hanover gun attack. 2 men were on Monday charged for the death of 27-year-old Lloyd Campbell of Bacadea Salt Spring, Hanover in July. 26-year-old Kima Wilson, otherwise called Amaro, and 23-year-old Damon Smith, otherwise called Purple, both of Bacadea addresses, are charged with murder and illegal possession of firearm. They were charged following a question and answer session in the presence of their attorneys. Their court date has not yet been finalized. The police report that about 5 p.m. on Saturday, July 31, a dispute occurred between Wilson and another man. Campbell intervened, which resulted in a fight. Wilson left and allegedly returned with a firearm and opened fire at Campbell. The police were contacted and he was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Both Wilson and Smith were later taken into custody. St. James man charged for wounding brother in machete attack. 29-year-old Roger Reed, a mason of Bogue Hill, Montego Bay, St. James, has been charged for wounding his brother during a dispute. The police say Reed was taken to the Montego Bay police station on Monday by a pastor where a warrant was executed on him. The police report that around midday on Sunday, May 16, Reed and his brother were doing repairs to a house when an argument developed between them. Reed then reportedly used a machete to inflict 2 wounds to his brother's back and one of his arms, almost severing it. He was taken to the hospital where he was admitted and later released. Reed's court date is being finalized. Man threatens to jump after climbing Mandeville Hospital building. Police and firefighters had to be called to the Mandeville Regional Hospital on Tuesday morning after a mentally ill man climbed onto the top of a building at the medical facility and threatened to jump. Chief Executive Officer at the hospital, Alwyn Miller, confirmed the incident, which he said happened shortly after 7 a.m. A mentally challenged man went on top of the building and was threatening to jump. We contacted the police and the fire department. They, along with our psychiatric team, convinced him to come down, so he came down eventually unhurt, said Miller. He has been taken in for treatment, he added. When asked how the man gained access to the top of the building, Miller explained that the man turned up at the accident and emergency department and soon after went to the back of the building. He also said the man was not an inpatient at the time of the incident. He came into the A&E where they were dealing with an emergency, a motor vehicle accident, so he had to wait a little bit. So he proceeded to walk over to the side of the hospital, he said. There is no predictability with his psychiatric patients, he added. He said there is adequate security at the facility to monitor patients admitted to the psychiatric ward. Decomposed body found in Trelawney. The decomposed body of an unidentified man was found in Duanville, Trelawney about midday on Monday. It was reported that a farmer was on his way to his property when he smelled a foul odor. He later saw the decomposed body. Investigators theorize that the man was killed elsewhere and the body taken to the area. The police are investigating. Work-from-home order for public sector being abused by some, said Prime Minister. The government plans to review the work-from-home order for public sector following reports that some employees are abusing the arrangement. Prime Minister Andrew Holness, after announcing the work-from-home order will continue until August 31, disclosed that the government received various complaints regarding abuses of the system and improper application of some of the rules. Accordingly, he will soon explain how the administration is rethinking the implementation of the order. He said fully vaccinated persons should still work from home. The Prime Minister is also encouraging the private sector to facilitate work from home for employees where possible. Indicom collects several statements in dreadlocks trimming probe. The Independent Commission of Investigations, Indicom, is reporting that it has collected several statements and other materials as it probes the trimming of a Rastafarian woman, allegedly by a policewoman, at the Four Paths police station in Clarendon. Nzinga King, 19, told the news that she has been left traumatized by the incident. King said the haircut by the policewoman resurrected memories of being gang raped when she was 16. The incident has drawn widespread condemnation. Underscoring that there is heightened public interest in the matter, Indicom is assuring that the case is being thoroughly investigated. Here's what Indicom has done so far. Indicom has interviewed and received a written statement from the complainant and the mother of the complainant. Indicom initiated and arranged with the victim services to provide counseling to the complainant and her family. Inmates at the Four Paths police station were interviewed by Indicom investigators and the statements were recorded. Written statements were provided to Indicom by the police personnel who were on duty at the Four Paths police station, including the sub-officer in charge, as well as the police personnel specifically implicated in the incident. The cell occupied by the complainant while in police custody was processed and exhibits were recovered. The complainant was the only occupant of the cell. Interviews were conducted and statements were collected from civilians, reportedly with knowledge of the incident. The oversight body says it will review all the evidence collected and thereafter the concerned police personnel will be served with notices pursuant to the Independent Commission of Investigations Act to attend the offices of the Commission to be interviewed. Upon the completion of the investigation, Indicom says the findings and the recommendations will be made available to the appropriate authorities. PNP disappointed by new COVID-19 containment measures. The opposition People's National Party is expressing disappointment in the new COVID-19 containment measures announced by Prime Minister Andrew Holness, arguing that it signals that the government has run out of ideas as to how to get on top of the crisis. Among other things, Holness yesterday announced cutbacks in curfew hours, gathering limits, a ban on entertainment events, and the closure of nightclubs and other places of amusement. The PNP is not impressed, arguing that instead of offering meaningful initiatives that can tackle the COVID crisis, Holness is merely reshuffling the past measures that have not worked. The party is contending that Holness has failed to explain how the virus will be contained by starting the curfew 1 hour earlier each day. To the contrary, people leaving work in the afternoons will be bundling up in supermarkets and grocery stores so as to get off the road before the earlier curfew starts, the PNP argued. It added that the opposition has long contended that this will facilitate rather than curtail the spread of the virus. Similarly, the nation is hard-pressed to understand what is to be achieved by starting the curfew at 2 p.m. rather than at 3 p.m. on Sundays. Will that really have any impact on the spread of the virus? A spokesperson said in a statement today. By all accounts, the quarantine system for visitors to Jamaica has broken down. There is no effective enforcement of the rules, from entry at the airports to checks at home. An extra hour of curfew will not address this glaring weakness in the system either, the spokesperson continued. The opposition is demanding that the government immediately recommence meetings of the Parliamentary Committee on COVID-19 so that it can focus on devising containment strategies. St. Catherine girl gone missing. An Ananda alert has been activated for 14-year-old Sidonis Smalling of Gladesview, Quarry Hill, St. Catherine, who has been missing since Thursday, July 15. She is of dark complexion, slim build, and about 158 centimeters or 5 feet 4 inches tall. Reports from the Spanish Town Police are that Sidonis was last seen at home wearing a multicolored dress. She has not been heard from since. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Sidonis Smalling is being asked to contact the Spanish Town Police at 876-984-2305, Police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. And in Kingston, another teenager gone missing. An Ananda alert has been activated for 13-year-old Zan Hepburn of Loveland, Kingston, CSO, who has been missing since Saturday, August 7. She is of dark complexion, slim build, and about 165 centimeters or 5 feet 5 inches tall. Reports from the Fletcher's Land Police are that about 9:30 a.m., Zan was last seen at home and has not been heard from since. Her mode of dress at the time she went missing is unknown. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Zan Hepburn is asked to contact the Fletcher's Land Police at 876-922-2541, Police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. 10 more COVID-19 deaths, 316 new cases. Jamaica has recorded 10 more COVID-19 deaths, pushing the tally to 1,241. Those who have died are a 44-year-old woman from Hanover, a 74-year-old woman from Hanover, a 91-year-old man from Hanover, a 60-year-old woman from Hanover, a 71-year-old woman from St. Elizabeth, an 81-year-old man from Kingston and St. Andrew, an 80-year-old woman from Hanover, a 66-year-old woman from Kingston and St. Andrew, a 53-year-old woman from St. Catherine, and a 52-year-old man from Manchester. Meanwhile, there were 360 new cases, with ages ranging from 49 days to 106 years, pushing the total to 55,456, with 6,543 being active. Of the new cases, 169 are women and 147 are men. A total of 986 tests were conducted. The top parishes with new infections are Westmoreland 86, Kingston and St. Andrew 65, St. Catherine 33, St. James 29, and Manchester 27. The country's positivity rate stands at 35.3%. In the meantime, there were 35 more recoveries, increasing the total to 47,305. Some 302 persons are in hospital, with 73 being moderately ill and 33 critically ill. 8 persons are in government quarantine, while 43,198 are at home. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.